Hello, and welcome back to the channel. This is Sho, and I don't know about you, but I really enjoy a nice, challenging roguelike game. I mean, roguelikes have an amazing concept of just putting so much pressure on you that you need to either be really critical with your movement, you have to be critical with your plan. Choosing the wrong card for your deck might be the case between surviving or dying. Honestly, it kind of gets your blood pumping, right? So what I wanted to do is hop in and take a look at 5 amazing roguelike tactical RPGs that you can play on the Switch today. Now, these are from my own personal collection, and I'm going to be a little bit varying, I guess if that's a word, jumping between these 5 ones here. Some of them I think you are probably going to be familiar with, and rightfully so. Some of these might be brand new, and some of these you might look at me and go, "Sho, what are you doing?" In either case, here we are. Let's take a look at 5 amazing roguelike tactics RPGs on the Switch. Coming in the first slot, we have the big, the bad XCOM 2. Now, honestly, what's not to say? This is a legendary franchise that is well known for its roguelike tactics strategy gameplay. You have your alien battles, you have your limited resources, you have your countdowns to Oblivion and Armageddon, you gotta deal with the XCOM board always taking away your refunds. I mean, honestly, this game is essentially the epitome of the roguelike tactics game. It's known for its difficulty, but if you know what you're doing, it is a very fun experience. And for those of you looking for pushing the extra challenge, you of course have the Iron Man modes, which is almost standard in most roguelike tactical RPGs. As for the Switch port, honestly, it's not bad at all. It plays pretty well. I've done it handheld myself. If you want to grab it on discount for the go, I definitely recommend it. Coming in our second slot, we have what I would consider basically being a stealth drop surprise, and this is going to be Blackguards 2. Now, this is the second in the Blackguards series, but I've never actually played the first one, and from my understanding, you don't really need to play the first one. It is available on Steam, and both of them are pretty inexpensive if you want to grab the PC versions, but a Switch drop for the second in the series has come out, and honestly, it's really interesting. You have a really nice, dark story of mystery and revenge. It works as basically a turn-based hexagonal tactical RPG. So you'll have your turns, you'll use all your units, and then obviously you'll have the hexagonal spaces that you'll move in between. So there's an extra element of strategy there, which is always good. You have heavy customization of every unit down to each individual ability, the weapon skills, the percentage traits you want in there. You also have some of those extra traits like animal talking and trap laying and perception, all really builds nicely into the core gameplay. Not to mention, one nice thing with this as well is that battlefields can actually be set up with traps and fortifications in mind before you even get into it. So, I mean, this adds an extra level of planning and strategy before you even begin doing the map. So honestly, Blackguards 2 is not a bad drop that came out on the Switch. Well presented, plays nicely. I would check it out. Coming in the third slot, we have a little bit of an older game released back in 2020. And this was also showcased in my Tough as Nails video, so feel free to check it out after this. But that is going to be Othercide. In Othercide, you are a nameless apparition, helping an entity known as the Red Mother free herself and her daughters from the eldritch abominations that torment them. In terms of the gameplay, this works very similar to XCOM with its grid-based affair, but adds a very interesting timeline mechanic where you can use varying amounts of energy to move and attack, which then directly impact where you are positioned on your subsequent turn within the timeline. So, for example, going in hard and dealing high damage can work in doing some good hits on an enemy, but if you don't knock them out, it will mean that you have to wait longer to get your next turn, which could leave you heavily exposed. Additionally, this game relies a lot on creating, or germinating as they say, daughters as your units. and you'll need to work with your daughters as far as you can until they die, in which they will die, and they will die a lot. But with that said, don't worry, the game actually does warn you this. Every time you die, the game will give you a certain amount of points as a currency that will allow you to use and buy remembrances to help make your subsequent playthroughs a little bit less stressful. So this is honestly one of those underrated games on the Switch that really needs more attention. So if you're interested in a nice, challenging tactical strategy game, definitely check out Othercide. Okay, so for number 4, we're going to put in one of my favorite franchises, and that's going to be Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, Stormguard. Okay. Don't hurt me. I know this game got a lot of smack when it came out, and I know for 100% sure that the multiplayer aspect of this game is completely dead, but I will say that this game is a lot of what I want in a tactical strategy game. You have full, complete unit customization. You have an unlockable armory and a skill upgrade purchase system that basically gets you more power and rewards the better that you do. As you progress through each run in your campaign, you'll unlock more cards that will get you new units, new equipment for those units, and then slowly and steadily you build up an actual personal army of your choice. I really love this. The gameplay itself also speaks to me, being another turn-based hexagonal tactical RPG that takes consideration of height, cover, unit positioning, and so on. Honestly, aside from the not-so-stellar visuals and the slight drops you get in performance occasionally, it's a solid, well-designed strategy game. This is definitely worth a pickup if you can get it on sale. It is fun. Ah, yes. Slot number 5. This game ranks up there as one of my favorite roguelike tactical strategy games ever, and that is Star Renegades. This is an amazing game with beautiful pixel art designs and a fantastically innovative gameplay loop that is absolutely addicting. General premise of the game, you have to destroy dimension-hopping aliens with a ragtag team of renegades. I mean, you gotta hop from planet to planet, taking care to explore the land quickly but effectively to defeat the boss within the time limit. Battles themselves are this really unique timeline system where the main goal is just to break the enemy to prevent them from having additional turns. This basically makes every battle a mini puzzle of sorts. To help you conquer these puzzles, there are loads of unique characters, each with their own special skills and their own classes, and then they add a progeny system that sets up for even more character unlocks and unique units that you can create through just exploring the story. Not to mention, this game does get regular updates from the developers with adding more renegades and more options. Not to mention itself, even more, the story and the interactions between the renegades are just awesome. This game is truly on another level and really needs its own video. So if you haven't played Star Renegades, do check it out. Alright, well, there you have it. These are 5 amazing roguelike tactics RPGs that you can play on the Switch today. Now, again, these are all from my personal collection. I highly recommend each of these 5 games. Some of these games I would say are a little bit better than others. Personally, I love Othercide and I do love Star Renegades a lot. You definitely need to check them out, but really each of these is worth your time, or at least trying to pick them up and seeing how you feel with them. So let me know in the comments down below if you've tried any of these games. Let us know your experiences as well. And if there are any other amazing roguelike tactical RPGs that you want to mention, feel free to shout it out. I definitely maybe want to do another video like this in the future. Anyway, this is Sho. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to help support the channel and send your love, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notifications button, and yeah, drop a like as well. Really helps out the channel grow. Thank you for sending your love as always. Anyway, I'll catch you next time, everyone. Cheers!